Long before the Bagauda dynasty emerged, a prophecy foretold the arrival of a great conqueror. The priest of Sububura declared that a man would come with an army, take control of the land, and rule for generations. That prophecy came through in 999 CE, when Bagauda, a descendant of Bayajida, arrived in Kano. He and his warriors conquered the indigenous people of Dala Hill, marking the beginning of one of the longest dynasties in human history. However, his rule was just the first step. True dominance over Kano would take generations to complete. The first era of the dynasty, known as the Gaudawa, was marked by warfare and expansion. Bagauda and his successors built the foundation of Kano's power, constructing the famous Kano walls to fortify their growing kingdom. The rulers of this period revolutionized the military, using organized forces to bring more territories under their control. Islam was also introduced and gradually imposed as the state religion, blending with the region's traditional beliefs. By the end of this era, Kano was no longer a scattered collection of settlements, but a unified kingdom with a strong central authority.
If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and consider supporting us on Patreon so our artists can continue making wonderful art and discussing fascinating things about African history. Thanks for watching. Now back to the video.
Kano reached its peak under the Rumfawa era, beginning the reign of Muhammad Rumfa, with trade routes expanding under his predecessor, Abdullahi Borja. Kano became a major commercial and political power. Merchants and scholars from across West Africa and the Sahel flocked to the city. It was during this period that the greatest reforms in administration and social structure were made. Muhammad Rumfa's grandson, Muhammad Kisoki, further strengthened Kano's influence by asserting control over the Hausa land. The city flourished, its markets filled with goods from distant lands, and its rulers gained recognition far beyond their borders. The Kutumbawa era, which began in 1623, under Muhammad al-Walid I, was a time of decline. Environmental degradation led to waves of famine, and Kano faced constant pressure from aggressive neighbors. Internal conflicts with the royal house further weakened the kingdom. Despite its past glory, Kano struggled to maintain its dominance. By the late 18th century, it was clear that the dynasty's hold on power was slipping. The kingdom's dwindling fortunes set the stage for an even greater threat, the Fulani War. The end came in 1807, when Muhammad al-Walid II, the last ruler of the Bagauda dynasty, was overthrown during the Fulani War. Forced into exile, he was assassinated, bringing an end to over 800 years of Bagauda rule. The Fulani established a new empire in Kano, but remnants of the royal house fled to the Maradi region, where they founded a new kingdom. Despite their fall, the legacy of the Bagauda dynasty remains deeply embedded in Kano's history. From the walls they built to the traditions they shaped, their impact is still felt centuries later.